difference. This next economy is going to be based on production, making stuff, building rather than borrowing. It's going to be based on conservation, and it's going to be based on ecological restoration. And every one of those value points for the new economy, your mayor is driving this city toward day and night. Driving this city toward day and night. That's your mayor. Production. World-class solar companies right here. World-class. Actually making the power source of the future. This mayor doesn't want to see us go from a situation where we go from importing dirty energy from the Middle East to importing clean energy technology from our friends in Asia and skip the jobs in the middle. He says we need to home grow our own energy, begin to do more for ourselves, what we've been relying on other people to do for us, i.e. power our own country, but also home grow the jobs. And that's happening here in Richmond. Production, conservation. You see this push for weatherization and making sure that we aren't wasting energy with our houses and our homes. People act like this is some crazy left-wing liberal conspiracy. Waste not, want not. I mean, I can't imagine anything more conservative than that. I don't think my grandmama was, I was into some crazy stuff. I don't think my grandmama was into some crazy stuff. I grew up with that. Waste not, want not. But under real leadership, that's the most fiscally conservative program you can have. Why? Because you can take that $1 bill and give it to this brother right here on the front row who may not have a job and say, stand up and go weatherize that home. That dollar bill just cut unemployment. But when he or she walks across the street and puts in that new insulation and takes out those old windows and gets in a new boiler or furnace, that same dollar bill that cut unemployment just cut somebody's energy bill. And it gets better. Somewhere down the street, there's a coal-fired power plant. Well, if you can cut that energy bill by 30%, you just cut demand on that power plant by 30%. You just cut air pollution by 30%. You may have cut asthma by 30%. With that same $1 bill, that's the hardest working $1 bill in American politics. And the homeowner will save enough money, it'll pay for itself revenue neutral. Now those are the kinds of ideas, turning wasted energy into wanted jobs that you have right here in Richmond. Now, ecological restoration. You have the solar thermal rebate so that we can continue to have hot and cold running water, which I like. I'm sorry, I'm green, I ain't that green, I'm sorry. I'm addicted to baths and showers and smelling sweet, I'm sorry. But you don't have to cook the planet to make the water hot. Right? And with this mayor, you can have the sunshine do it for you for free and get a rebate. Now look, I know that's too much genius for one mayor to have. I know it's not fair that you got a mayor like this. I know people hating on you all around. Why don't we have a mayor? Just understand. Sometimes you just luck out. Sometimes you just get lucky. And you got lucky in Richmond. But guess what? You clap on that, you got lucky in Richmond. You got the right leader at the right time in Richmond. Yes, you did. But luck don't last forever now. You cannot rely on these TV stations and newspapers to tell this story about this Richmond rebirth. You know, I know a little something about the need for rebirth. And what I want you to know is that a lot of what is good in America right now started right here in Richmond with the Solar Richmond program. And I see Michelle right there. Give her a round of applause. A national hero in the midst. I believe it was August 2007 they did their first installation. And a photograph that was taken of the first installation was a bunch of African-American, mostly African-American men, there may have been others, but mostly African-American men with orange work vest on a roof in Richmond, putting up solar panels and raising their hands in triumph. That photograph that was taken in Richmond is the single most often reproduced photograph in the world when the word green jobs is mentioned. Because the movement for green jobs really got started here. The photograph that convinced certain politicians, whom I know and love very well, to adopt the cause, that photograph was taken here. The arguments were first developed here. So you have grassroots leadership and city city hall level leadership. But now you have a challenge. Because just because you have it doesn't mean you get to keep it. And everybody does not want you to have the next economy here. Everybody does not want you to be the incubator for the next American economy, which is what you're headed toward becoming. And change is hard. Change is hard. In closing, I want to say that when you go, as we've gone in our country, from despair to hope, you're in a fragile state. Am I right or wrong? My brother spoke to it. See, we went from despair to hope. Now, that's a huge achievement. But now you got to go from hope to change. Yeah. Now, the difference is, I'm going to just testify and confess because I'm here with friends and family. Is that all right? The difference is, so I'll make it personal. I'm trying to lose these 10 pounds. You trying to lose 25? I'm trying to lose 10. But I was in the airport just now, had 2 oatmeal raisin cookies. That's called despair. Right? That's despair. And then when I was walking out, wiping the crumbs off my mouth, because I didn't want them to see me eat them, I passed the magazine rack. And they had the fitness magazines, you know? They had the pretty guy with the washboard stomach going, I was like, I could look like that. That's called hope. Losing the 10 pounds, that's called change. That's change. And that's hard. It goes up and down. It goes backwards and forward. You have good days and bad days. But I'm going to tell you right now, the only way that you will fail to get to the change and fall all the way back to the despair is if you let go of your hope. You have a hopeful leader. You have hopeful grassroots projects. You have hope in Richmond. Keep the hope alive here in Richmond and keep leading us into this new economy. Thank you very much.